So, Rúben Amorim has spoken to the press. While we're excited about things going on in the transfer market, he's spoken to the press and he's given his, his thoughts ahead of the game against Fulham. This is a pre-match presser analyzer. We're going to analyze, definitely everything that Rúben Amorim has said. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you're watching this video, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. We're going to give you every detail as to what Rúben Amorim has said. Now, Rúben Amorim on press conference we're going to break it down basically, even like with what each journalist asked. The first one is Simon Peach. Simon Peach asked Rúben Amorim questions on Manchester United squad for the trip to Fulham. And he asked about Onana and all of that, and Rúben Amorim answered and I quote, "Onana is ready to play like last week, so we'll see in the game who is going to be the goalkeeper. Licha is out, Noose is out, the rest of the guys are fit." So which means Joshua Zirkzee is also fit to play, or fit and ready for selection. And then Rúben Amorim also on how his interactions with Rasmus Højlund has been. There was another question like that. He said, like a professional player, so we need to see. Let's wait until the market is closed and then everything is going to be more clear. So obviously he doesn't want to just spill anything with regards to what's going on in the back end for Rasmus Højlund. He's basically just trying to see how the market goes, and if Rasmus Højlund isn't sold, he's going to fight for his spot. We're going to have 3 strikers, as the case may be, and obviously there's a lot of games to go around. If we miss our 8 to 10 games in Champions League, we'll still have about 50 games to play if we go very far in the cups. We start pretty early next week, right? So yeah, obviously Rasmus Højlund, I would want Rasmus Højlund to stay, fight for his spot, kind of like compete with Benjamin Šeško, because they're about the same age, and then obviously you see where that goes from there. But Rúben Amorim has said everything will be more clear once the market is closed, right? So let's see how that goes. And then Simon Stone asked a question with regards to Onana. And he says, obviously, just like the same thing as Simon Peach, Onana is ready. And then he was asked about Kobbie Mainoo, right? And then Kobbie Mainoo, he said, with regards to Kobbie Mainoo's contract, he says, I didn't hear any news on that. We play with 2 midfielders and it is a different way of playing. They have to understand the young players. There is phases in the season. He's fighting and training. So which means that Rúben Amorim is saying that there are so many phases in the season. There are points where obviously he's going to get a lot of game time. So game time should not be his worry or should not be his problem. He should basically just, focus on on fighting for his spot and playing and training, because they reminded Amorim about this talk with regards to basically when he said that he's working closely with Kobbie Mainoo. And this was a question asked by Adam Akola of Sheffield Paddock in preseason. If you check our channel, you'll see the video there where I broke it down and all of that. But Rúben Amorim was straightforward. He said what he had to say to break down everything. And then with regards to Chris Wheeler asking with regards to Onana, asking Amorim with regards to Onana, he said Onana fit, but Amorim is not saying if he will replace Bryan Dier in goal. This is basically what Chris Wheeler has said. Basically said Onana is fit, but he's not saying if he will replace Bryan Dier in goal. He's saying, okay, as we head to the game, we're gonna figure out in the game who's going to be the goalkeeper. And then he said, with regards to Mainoo's contract talks, he said that part, he just directed them, say that part is with Jason Wilcox. He's our player and he has a contract. I didn't hear any news about that. Now, if we're going to go with direct quotes, detailed quotes from Rúben Amorim on different things, I've already talked about that of Andre Onana. He's talked about we've talked about outgoings. The questions they asked him with regards to outgoings, Rúben Amorim said you have to talk with Jason Wilcox on that. These are the questions with regards to any news on outgoings and incomings and all that. He says, you have to talk to Jason Wilcox. We have a department that is responsible for that part. I'm just focused on Sunday's game. We talk every day. We talk about all the situations. And then on transfers, like on outgoing, he said it's not an idea that these guys, so they're talking about they call them the bomb squad, right? So he says it's not an idea that these guys are going to leave to play in different club and then in a different club and then we'll receive another player. This was with regards to outgoings and incomings. He says we don't know what is going to happen, but we are not waiting to take out someone to get another. I think the players you are talking about are not with this group at the moment. So basically talking about, the fact that these players haven't left, that the last 4 players, Malacia, Anthony and Sancho and Garnacho, and then we have Rashford, who has secured his loan move to Barcelona. He says, they're training in a different group, right? Then obviously on Fulham, the question that Rúben Amorim was asked with regards to Fulham, these are his exact quotes. He says, I think it's always hard to play against Fulham. They have a clear identity. Marco Silva is really smart and they are really comfortable because they have experience and understand the league. It will be a tough match, but every game in the schedule, if you look at the schedule, is tough to play. Right, so basically Rúben Amorim is just kind of not saying much, but he's saying that obviously we'll be preparing for Fulham and we'll be getting ready for what Fulham have to offer. And with regards to defending set pieces, he was asked questions about defending set pieces. He says we need to try to analyze the opponent to put the best setup for the to protect the goal in set pieces. We do it all the time and we will not change because of the last goal. We need to do the same thing to the opponent. And then basically on the bomb squad, like I said, he says I think again, I know that it's not a good thing to have players in this situation. This is with regards to the last 4 players that are left, but it's clear they want to play in a different club, in a different club, and that is clear. So we try to arrange everything for both parts to be happy. So I have to try to imagine to have the training with the guys that I think are going to be, the future, and the other guys are also training and preparing for the next chapter. So when the window is closed, it is a different history. When the window is closed, we have to receive the players, and in a new life, anything can happen. So basically, he is saying that when the window closes, obviously we're going to see how we can accept them. This second time or third time he's saying this, and they keep asking him the same question and all of that. But yeah, it is okay. Basically, he said that they'll be accepted into the squad, but obviously we all know that Rúben Amorim will say these things because he doesn't want to ruin the market value of these players. But we'll see how things unfold, and if anything comes up, we will let you know. And then Amorim spoke on Mainoo again. He says we have some issues, but we'll play with two midfielders, and sometimes it's a different way of playing. And they have to understand, especially the young players. There is spaces in the season, and this is normal with a lot of games. Things are going to change, but he's there, he's fighting, he's training, and is one more option for us to win games. Because I don't know why they keep asking questions specific to this player, because in truth, Rúben Amorim is definitely going to play Mainoo. Everybody is desperate to see Mainoo play. I am desperate to see Mainoo play, but I'm not going to be in a hurry because I know that it's a process, and Mainoo will play in some games and not play in other games. There's loads of games to go around. Mason Mount will play in some games and not play in other games. There's loads of games to go around, but it is what it is. No need to bash the journalists and all of that. Then Amorim was asked about Mount and Shaw, and he said more important than England is for them to help Manchester United to reach our goals. And then they are very, very smart. They are very, very smart players. They are very experienced and have played a lot of matches. Mason Mount won the Champions League, and Luke Shaw, I've already said, when he's fit, is really a special player, and you can see it every time he plays. So it's really important for us to have these players or these guys available for more games. That was what Rúben Amorim had to say about Luke Shaw and Mason Mount. And then with regards to improvement in the squad, he says we are better, but also because we have different characteristics and we can change that during the game. We have more options, and you see we play a different style with Cunha, for example, and then in the end with Sesko, because he is a different player and we can use, right? We are improving in that department also. We are creating more chances, so we are ready for any kind of game. The biggest improvement we have versus Arsenal was we didn't lose the ball so many times in build-up. That was really good, and that was really good also for our team. So that's pretty much what Rúben Amorim, was saying with regards to, the game ahead of Fulham. And obviously we can tell that there's been an improvement. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about what has happened this season and how Man United have played. But you can actually see it, that especially against Arsenal, we played them off the park. The stats show it, the eye test shows it. And when I rewatched the game again, the full game from beginning to the end, it felt like I was watching a Man United highlight, because you could see only occasionally Arsenal had the ball. The rest was all Man United. That's why we ended up with over 60% ball possession and actual ball possession and camping Arsenal in their half. So yeah, so Fulham, I expect a tough test, but obviously, as I've predicted in my match preview, which you can watch, by the way, on our YouTube channel, I have predicted severally that Man United are gonna win. I predicted this game that Man United is gonna win 2-1, but we're gonna see. We'll observe. We might win with more goals, but let's see how that goes. Go watch that match preview and tell me what you think. Watch this one. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section about what Amorim has said with regards to the players and all of that. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts on Amorim's comments and everything. And also, I don't take your subscriptions and all of these things, your comments, for granted. I try as much as possible to respond to all of them. We keep building a community, we keep growing together, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.